Hey everyone, I've been waiting expectantly for a couple days now to get my envelope of photos from Clear Focus Films, and I am so excited to see what's inside of this envelope. I cannot express to you. Like, I cannot remember another time in my life. It's probably been years since, like, I would get home from work and check the mailbox every day because I was expecting some sort of letter or delivery. It feels really good. It brought back memories of childhood. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this bad boy up and see what photos we got inside of this. I can't wait to see what shots he sent me. Oh, dang, wait a minute. Oh, these are like high quality prints. Hold on. Whoa. Wow, he actually like, he put like stuff in between to keep them protected. Oh, let's check out this shot right here. Check out that shot. And it's on like nice quality paper too. I like these. Ooh, this one's really cool. I really like the coloration on this one. Got really good contrast going on with the dark clouds in the foreground. Well, foreground versus like the lighter stuff in the background. That is a gnarly shot. I love that one. And I was distracted because I think I have in my possession, I wasn't expecting this, I think Clear Focus Films, I think I got maybe some poetry or like an OG poem with like an actual like wax seal. Take a look at that. Take a look at that bad boy. That's so cool. All right, hold on. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try and do this without, I don't wanna damage the paper or anything. So I gotta be very careful. Gotta be very careful. Are we good? I think we're good. I didn't lose any, I don't think I lost any of the writing, hopefully. Also, it's typed, in case you were wondering. Of course he typed it on a typewriter. Okay, Mr. Max. Hello, my friend. First off, I would like to thank you for your continual support of my artistic journey as a filmmaker. It means a lot, and I am extremely grateful. Along with this letter, I have included a gift of 13 unique photographs that span my time as a photographer, and all have a story attached to them that I would love to share. I've marked all the photos on the back so that you can know which photo I am referencing. Number 1. This photo was taken on a random bike ride. And while that might seem like an odd reason to include it in this collection, it is the very beginning of my journey into photography. I'd always had a camera, whether it was a chunky Canon PowerShot or a fixed lens Nikon camera as I got older. It was, however, only when I turned 18 and got my first semi-professional grade camera as a graduation gift that I considered pursuing photography. This was one of the first photos that I uploaded to my Lightroom to attempt to edit. Of course, now as I look back at it, I can see a lot of improvements that can be made in both the photo itself and the editing. But we all start somewhere, and I'm glad that I have a record to look back on. So this was like the first one. This was like the OG shot that started it all, which is a really cool shot to start with. All right, let's see what's next. Ooh, whoa. Whoa, hold on. This is just like a beautiful like water shot. I don't know how well this is picking up on the camera, but it's just a beautiful view over water with like the perfectly centered sunlight reflection over the water. And there's some God rays going on. I don't know if you can pick up on that, but there are just like some really gorgeous streaks of light going on in that one. That is so pretty. I also like, he numbered them too, which is super, super cool. Super helpful too to keep these in order. Number 2. This photo was taken only a few months after I got my camera, and funnily enough, is still one that I consider one of my best. It's this one here, over the water, which I really like this one. I was on a church trip to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, camping and exploring nature. What a great time to get out and try to better my photography, right? It was only after traveling for 5 hours that I realized I had left my SD card in my computer from the night before when I was packing my gear and making sure I had space to take plenty of photos. So there I was in perfect photo opportunities with no ability to take photos. Fortunately, one of the people who also was on the trip was a photographer and had SD card. Unfortunately, the card was almost completely full of photos she'd taken at a wedding and had to keep. So I had to choose the smallest quality and downgrade the files to small JPEG. But at least I could take photos, even if I had to keep deleting them to make room for more. As we were on the return journey home, we stopped for a few hours on Mackinac Island. which requires a ferry to get to. While we were crossing the lake, I saw the perfect moment happen where a passing ship and the sunset were aligned. I snapped the photo and prayed for the best. When I returned home and was able to view it fully, I was stunned with the clarity and quality of what I had captured. This photo is also printed and proudly displayed in my own room. This guy right here, a really good shot. Whoa, this one's like an album cover. This is so awesome. It's like black and white, but then you have like a figure way off in the distance. Again, it probably won't pick it up super well. There we go. There's like a person on the very top of that hill. This one's so cool. And I also like the bordering on this one. There's like a thicker border around it for this print. That one's so cool. I'm loving this. I'm loving this so much. All right, let's take a look at what we got next. Ooh. Whoa, hold on. Also, just an incredible shot. So we got like, it's very faint, but you got a building in the foreground, and then you have this like lighthouse in the background. My camera might be too washed out to see it. You can kind of see it, but there's a lighthouse like hidden by fog, like right behind it. That shot is so nice because there's like nothing else. It's just the building and that lighthouse, and that's like it. That is so cool. Dude, I'm freaking out about these. These are so cool. Number 3 is this one, or the figure on top of the hill. These next 2 photos were taken only a few months after the last photo was taken. My birthday is in September, and my mom typically takes me on a trip. For my 18th birthday, I was taken to Alpena, Michigan. It was during October because we wanted to wait until the fall colors were vibrant and visible. However, when we arrived, it was the time of some of the most intense fog I have ever seen. Originally, I was somewhat disappointed because I had been hoping for the bright oranges and deep reds that are expected from a beautiful Michigan fall. Instead, there was low visibility and dark, moody grays. When I changed my mindset, though, to view this as an opportunity to grow in my ability to make art and not just take photos, and to adapt to my surroundings instead of only creating when I feel comfortable, I was able to look through the assumed difficulty and view it as a beautiful addition instead. Which, again, super glad you did that because the end result is amazing. So that was both of these foggy ones. Oh, dude, okay. So we got another black and white one. This one's up in Washington, D.C. We got the Washington Monument by the reflective pool. I think it's what it's called. It's called the reflection pool, right? Or the reflective pool. Either way, it's a pool, and I'm sure it reflects things. And this shot's really cool. You got some really cool candids. People going by on bikes. It's kind of cool. You can actually see that in the shot themselves, there's like 3 people riding bikes. One person's dead in the middle, one person's starting to go off on this side, and then someone's just like the front of their bike is just appearing on the opposite side. So you have like 3 different bikes going at the same time, which is really cool. And you just got some really fast. I can't wait to like look at these closer, specifically at like the people walking around, so I can take a look at these candids. And then we have the Washington, D.C. one, which is, here we go, number 5. This was taken the next year. I had grown in my artistic abilities from the past year and had done a lot of studying of classic photographers like Henri Cartier-Bresson. It was during a family trip to Washington, D.C. on vacation that I was able to put some of my studies to the test and see if I had truly learned anything from the time I had spent studying. This shot, specifically, in my opinion, captured the spirit of Bresson, waiting for the right moment to take the photo, and instead of taking multiple photos, waiting for that one photo that is right. Something that makes this photo special is that it is, in essence, a very simple photo, but that is one of my favorite things about it. The pure, beautiful simplicity of the photo, no distracting colors, and plain symmetry. Yeah, that's this one, and I totally agree. All right, let's see what we got next. Whoa, this is super cool. Okay. So we got some color going on. This looks like a baptism picture. It took me a second. Some really pretty like blues going on in this one. Like really pretty. A lot of water shots. Love the reflection on this one as well of the 3 figures reflected in the water. That's so cool. And then that contrast against that far shore is just so gorgeous. Dude, these are so cool. Also, wait a minute. Hold on. How many is that? 6? I thought we were just doing 5. How many did you send me? Number 6. This photo occurred on the same camping trip that the ship photo was taken, but the next year. Something that is very close to me is the importance of my faith. While on this trip, we had several people who were interested in being baptized. On the last night of camping, while the sun was setting over the lake, one of the campers was baptized, and I was able to capture it. I love this photo not only for the beauty of the colors and the silhouettes that were created, but also for the beautiful symbolism involved. And I totally agree. That is a winning shot right there, if I've ever seen one. That is a beautiful thing. Ooh, this one's fun. Okay. Scalawag's White Fish and Chips. I love this one, actually, because of the, there's no, like, people in it, and I actually like that. There's some strong primary colors going on against, like, a scant backdrop of, like, the wall, and so all those colors really pop, and it's just, like, a very simple picture. I really like this one. It might be, I don't know if I'm going to be able to rank these. And then we have number 7, which is the fish and chips place. I don't regard this photo as art, but as a capturing of 2 separate memories that occurred at this special location. On the second camping trip, I had invited a girl from my local coffee shop to come along. I had invited her to church and was surprised when she showed up. It was only a few weeks from when she began attending to when the trip was, so I had very little hope that she would be interested. It turns out that she was not only interested in going on the camping trip, but also in me. We've been courting now for 2 years. This fish and chips shop is where we stopped on one of those free days we had while camping. It's located in Mackinac City, Michigan. The group had stopped to get lunch, and she and I were the only ones interested in this shop, as the other campers went to get pizza in the other restaurants that were around the same area. This gave both of us a great time to get to know each other, and it was a memorable beginning to our relationship. This location was also where my mom and I stopped as we biked 170 miles across Michigan 2 years ago. What? I'm gobsmacked. We began in Charlevoix on the east side, made our way to Mackinac City, then back down to Alpena. I love trips with my mom because they're always adventurous. While growing up in Alaska, I kayaked 21 lakes with her in a day, hiked mountain trails, kayaked down whitewater rivers, and so much more with her. Now that we live in a much more subdued area of the U.S., it is difficult to find adventurous, some might say dangerous, things to do, but our shared love of pushing ourselves and seeking for exciting life motivates us both. Again, this might be one of my favorite shots. I really like it. Another, like, gorgeous water shot, but this one has all that warm lighting in it. Just that beautiful, like, sunset colors going on this one. Love that one. Also love how you got the far shore lined up, like, directly, like, down the middle of the shot. That's so cool. I really like this one. That's so cool. It's like a dock at sunset. Number 8. This is the sunset dock. This photo was taken on a trip to... You're killing me with these names, man. Saugatuck, Michigan. It is taken on film. We were driving back to our hotel as the sun was setting, and we pulled over to the side of the road so that we could capture this beautiful moment. I might have trespassed to get this photo, but that has not ever been confirmed, lol. So, you know, no proof. All we have is the shot, and that's what matters. Number 9, just a beautiful city shot. I'm assuming this is New York. I think it's New York. It's like a picturesque. This shot looks like it would make like an amazing painting. Like, it has elements in it. The way it's composed, the way it's structured, has a very painterly way about it. I think it could just be like the verticality of like the buildings and then the figures, so everything sort of builds upwards. But then also just like the cool tone of like the warm lighting up front, but then the cool background going on, like in the haze in the distance is all sort of blue, so you get really nice contrast. And then the light reflecting off of the rainy sidewalks, just gorgeous. That shot's beautiful. All right, hold on. Oh, I like this shot a lot. Hold on. Number 10. Number 10 looks like it's inside some sort of a library, and you got two figures, again, in front of like, I like the fact it doesn't seem cluttered. Like the image really does have a lot of elements inside of it, but not necessarily elements that distract from each other. Like just the statue, the two figures here, that beautiful blue wall in the background, and then you have the books sort of down the middle of the frame here. Beautiful shot. I just like, that's a good candid. Really good job there. I love that. So let's see, 9 and 10. That's the street shot and the inside of the library shot. These two photos were taken during a trip to Chicago in 2023. So Chicago, not New York. It was my first time being there, and I was in absolute wonder at the sights of the city. The beautiful mix of modern and vintage was perfect. It seemed futuristic, yet classic at the same time. So it was absolutely wonderful for a photographer to experience. The photo on the street makes me feel timeless. The colors remind me of a scene set in the 30s or 40s, yet the surroundings are new and modern. This is the beauty of Chicago. The photo inside is in the Art Institute of Chicago. There's a small study and archival room in the museum, and this is taken through the window of the locked door to enter the room. One of the reasons that I love this photo is because it reminds me of one of my favorite directors, Wes Anderson. The bright colors and use of symmetry are very similar to his work. And now that you say that, I totally see that. Again, it's just like the figures on that flat plane and then like that bright blue behind them is so cool. And yeah, it is Chicago, not New York. I was close. Dude, I'm being so spoiled here. Hold on. So we got number 11. I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking at. So it's, I think it's one of those rides. Those rides you can go on at like the fair where it's like those swing sets that are way, way, way high up, okay? But it's like taken through like some sort of tarp. Maybe, were you in line for something when you took this one? Like, was it shade for you? But yeah, there's like a really beautiful thing going on. Just like a really cool perspective shot. And then the fact that the ride itself is like red up at the top, but everything else around it's blue. And you have like just that beautiful circular shape going on is just so, so cool. That is a gnarly shot. I like that one a lot. Oh, get out of town. Number 12, we got a perfectly perched seagull perfectly on top of a sign over water. That is, you cannot ask for better staging. You cannot ask nature to cooperate with you more. A no swimming sign with a seagull just sitting proudly on top of that. That is an awesome shot. How long did that one take you to get? Or did you just like whip your camera out at the perfect time? Was the seagull just sitting there? There's also, I don't know if it's the quality of the prints versus something more intentional, but there is a grainy quality to some of these that looks intentional. I really like it because it really, again, if we're talking about digital versus like physical medium, there's just something about that look. It looks so real. You know what I mean? There's something about it. And especially when you have just a gorgeous shot of like the sea and then sky beyond, there's just something so ethereal about that more grainy quality. It seems more like a memory instead of like a really overly polished moment that just seems so fake. This one might be one of my favorites. A beautiful shot. This one's also just gorgeous. So it's like brown, dead leaves and everything, but just center frame, you have this leaf that's still holding on to some of that green, which just makes it really pop. That is a gorgeous shot. I love that one too. And then like the lighting on it, casting the shadows behind it, super cool. 11 through 13. These last few photos don't have as many stories attached, but they represent my latest photos. I take a lot of photos now on film. I love the analog experience of loading the film, feeling the film strip to be pulled out of its roll as I take the photo is a feeling that is incredible, especially considering the majority of photography nowadays is done digitally. I find that when I'm taking photos on film, I seek out more interesting framing and moments that are more artistic. The colors and texture of film are great, and the time it takes to eventually see the photo you captured is frustrating, but at the same time extremely rewarding when you finally see it. I hope you enjoy these photos and the stories that are behind them. I'm so happy to be sharing them with someone that appreciates art and my work. Thank you for the continued support. I always feel humbled to know and hear from people who've seen my work, so thank you. P.S. This letter was written on a 1947 Quiet Deluxe Royal typewriter. Similar to the joy I find in film photography, I also really enjoy the feeling of typing on a manual typewriter, making the vintage usable again. So there might be some typos and misspelled words, but I believe it gives a letter or anything written more character and therefore a more personal touch than a printed document. God bless you, your friend, Clear Focus Films. And we got a signature. So what? I just get 13 amazing photos. I get the stories on paper, typewritten. I got a wax seal. That's the best letter I've received in years. So thank you so much for including me in this project. Sorry the lighting's so bad because the sun's literally gone down while I did this. But thank you so much. This means a lot, and I hope that you enjoy the photos that I sent. And I feel bad because I only sent you 5, and I got 13 awesome shots. But thank you so much for allowing me to collaborate with you on this, and I look forward to see what else that you create. See ya.